And 3, 2, 1, boo. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Kurtis Stewart here. You might recognize me from my other channel, Living Off Grid. I decided to do a different channel for all my trucking stuff, just to keep it separated from all the off-grid living style videos. It's kind of gotten clogged up with all these trucking videos. So I finally decided to separate it out a little bit. So here I am with a driver's point of view. Thought fitting name for a channel, because this is from a truck driver's point of view, and how I feel about the truck, things in the trucking industry, and how you might feel about them too. If you have seen me on my other channel, Living Off Grid, you probably seen a lot of my Hirschbach videos. That's who I drive for. That's basically what this video is about today. Just trying to help those other drivers out there looking for another place to go that they can maybe stay with for a while. It's really hard when you're looking for another driving job, because there's a lot of driving companies out there that really don't treat you very well. Either you're not getting the miles you need to get, or you're not getting paid what you need to get paid, or you're not getting home when you need to. Reckon there's a lot of things that happen out here on the road. That's should be expected, because it's just the nature of the business. But I've been doing this for a very long time, and I know there's money to be made out here, and I know what truck drivers are worth. That's the one hardest part about owning your own trucking business, is finding a good driver. And I know that from experience. I've had a business with some trucks, and that was my biggest struggle, was finding good drivers. Drivers that'll stick with you, that'll help get things to where they need to be, and stuff like that. But that could be hard too. Things happen out on the road. You get tired, you get sick, you need to get home for certain things. It's just a different lifestyle. So there's things that you should expect when you could go out on the road. Like with any big company, you can't expect for them to, just make you rich and you be home every other day or every weekend. You got to go out there and you got to hustle. You got to get the miles, and you got to drive. Take your 10 hours off and get up and get going. That's how it is out here. If you're not going to be home, you might as well be driving, so that when you do get home, you have that money to enjoy life a little bit, or some you can put away for your future, so you don't have to keep doing this forever. I don't want to be driving truck when I'm 90 years old. Honestly, I don't want to be driving truck for another 10 years. But I'm probably going to have to. I do still enjoy it for the most part. I've been doing it about 18 years now. And this is the one thing that I've always felt comfortable with. It's something I know how to do. I know things change a lot with the rules and the laws. And when I started driving truck, there was no such thing as e-logs, or I'm sure there was automatic trucks, but I've never, you didn't hear about them. Now a lot of these trucks are automatic, and you got the e-logs, and you got all the rules changed, with the 11 hours driving, and you got to take your half-hour break and all that stuff. But anyway, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about was Hirschbach. It's been a great company for me. I've been here over 2 years, since I moved to Tennessee from Idaho. The lease is really great. I've never had a negative settlement, even taking time off and extended time off. I've always been good. You get the miles in that you need to get. You get home when you need to get. Sometimes it's hard to get you home. But if you can let them know well in advance, and keep reminding them, that's a big thing. You got to just go, hey, remember next week I need to be home. Hey, remember in a few days I need to be home. Hey, remember I need to be home tomorrow. So they got a lot going on too. They take care of a lot of drivers, and sometimes it's hard. So you got to think about it from their end too. Now they've always gotten me home when I've needed to get home, and give or take a day or two. If it's something very important that I need to get home for, then I'll let them know this is very important that I need to get home this day, and they'll make it happen. It feels more like a small company, because they know who you are. You're not just a truck number, like with a lot of the big companies. The lease is about, well, it differs between trucks, and you don't get to pick the truck that you want. That's been a kind of issue for some guys, that I talk to. They're like, oh, well, I can't pick my truck, then, forget it. But keep in mind that they have newer trucks. They're all, within 3 years old. And if it's really not what you want when you get there, let them know what you want before you go, and they're gonna do their best to get you what you want. They got to figure out what's available right, at that time. And sometimes if you wait an extra week or wait an extra 2 weeks to get on, you might get what you want. But most of the guys are getting brand new trucks now, so that's not really a big issue. They do come with the satellite radio and the direct TV free. The payments range from I don't know, $700 a week to $800 or something like that. Mine's, I know, $740, and I have a brand new Freightliner Cascadia 2020. This is my second lease now, my second truck. I didn't actually complete the full term of the lease of my last truck, but the miles, it was a team truck before, and I requested a team truck because I was supposed to have a team with me. And he didn't end up coming on with me, so I just went ahead and kept the truck that they had available for me. So the miles started getting up to around 300,000 miles, and they called me and said, hey, do you want to trade your truck in and get a new one? And I said, sure, because my goal is not to own this truck. My goal is just to keep leasing. And the reason I do that is because I've owned trucks before, and these trucks are under warranty. They have a maintenance account where they pull 10 cents a mile out of your settlement, and the truck is covered bumper to bumper, including tires and tows and your hotel room, and plus, if you break down, you're still going to get paid after 24 hours. You still get like $180 a day. And they put you up in the hotel and all that stuff. And that's, I broke down once, and I went to a hotel room for 2 nights, and sure enough, I got paid for it. So, that's pretty cool. And like I said, I've owned trucks before, and just when you start getting past that warranty, coming over with, that's usually when things start breaking. And you probably know as well as I do, parts on these trucks aren't cheap. And I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with owning a truck again. I don't know. It's just something I just don't want to do. But, I may. Things change. When you get to orientation, they do, it's a 3-day orientation. Well, 2.5 days, 3 days, something like that. They rent you a car from your house or where you live, and you drive the car to orientation, and then they put you up in a motel, and they feed you. They give you, well, they used to give you food vouchers for your lunch and dinner, and then you'd have breakfast at the hotel, and it's a nice hotel. First 2 days, you're just going over your paperwork, you're going over the lease, the contract, the company policies, watching videos, the drill. It's pretty standard. You do a little drive test, you just go down the road and back. It's not a big deal. They just want to make sure you can drive a truck. They're not sitting there with the clipboard trying to mark you off or anything like that. Then the third day you get your truck, and Hirschbach gives you $500 when you get done with orientation, and then another $500 on a card as soon as you get your first dispatch. So usually that's within like a day. So right there's $1,000 to get going. When I went down, I was completely broke, and within the first week, I had money. I had quite a bit of money in my pocket, and then the first week or two, don't quote me on this. I think it's 2 weeks you don't pay for your truck payment. So that helps you just kind of get started too. So within the first couple, I think my first settlement was like $4,500. So, I mean, because right off the bat, I just got going and didn't have that truck payment or anything, and so I had a really good settlement. Now, as far as the pay goes, it's a sliding scale. So the further the load goes, the smaller amount it is per mile. Now, I don't know why people do that, but I mean, they get paid less for that. You know, being in the trucking world of being in ownership, as I did before, I know that those shorter runs generally get more money. So usually they'll throw you like a long load and then a couple short loads just to make your, round your week out, which is nice. You know, I've walked home with $2,200, $2,500, $2,700 weeks. I've never gotten any lower than $1,100. And right now I'm on a dedicated account, and they have a lot of dedicated things going on. I've been doing this dedicated account for a little over a year, and the thing about the dedicated account is there's a guarantee weekly pay. Now, a lot of guys don't like that. They think it's not enough money. It's $1,150 a week, and you got to be available to drive 6 days out of 7. But normally, some of the plants, they're closed on the weekends. So, I mean, sometimes you get away with, going home for a couple of days and you still get that $1,150. And if you go over the miles, so generally, if you have like a full week, you generally go over the miles that meets that guarantee. And so you actually get paid more than the guarantee. So I'll tell you, like for me, for instance, I average about $1,700 a week. That's take home. That's after all my expenses, and that works out great for me. Now, when I was over the road with them, I was making that and a little bit more sometimes, and sometimes a little bit less. But it was kind of averaged right in there, 15 to 1,700, sometimes 2,000, but I would say average of right around 1,700. That's what I was taking home. I mean, I did really well last year. I did well the year before. Like I said, I just keep going, and they keep paying, and they keep doing what they say they're going to do. Now that sometimes there's a lack of communication with the DMs or some of the people there, and that's with any company. But you just gotta call them and say, hey, look, this is what I need. If you can't help me out with it, can I please talk to somebody who might be able to? And sometimes you just can't. You don't get your way, but that's the way it goes. It's life. We're out here to do a job. We all got to help each other out. They don't do. They give you a packet for medical and insurance and stuff, but it's an outside source, so it's not like company matching or anything like that, because you are a 1099 driver. You're in charge of your own taxes and your own deal. They set you up with your own LLC when you get there. If you already have one, make sure you bring all your information with you to the orientation. But other than that, they have a law firm that helps you out make your LLC, which is super simple. If you don't know anything about it, either Google it, or you feel free to email me, and I'll help you out with that. It's and with the taxes and all that kind of stuff. It's easy stuff. It's not like you own a big corporation where you have you got to file all this stuff, and as long as you keep track of some of your stuff. And there's companies out there that do just trucking, accounting or I think ATBS, I believe, is one of them I used to use a long time ago, before I started doing it myself. They were a good company, I remember. It cost you a little bit of money, but make sure everything's good, trying to think anything else that guys ask me that I can answer right now. When you get on these videos, your mind kind of draws a blank, and I probably should have wrote down some notes, and I probably will for my next video. I just wanted to get this channel going and get a video out there for you guys. Now we do get referral bonuses for if you use me as a referral, and with that, I like to share that with the driver that uses me. I give them $500 of it. And it's after they are with the company for a week. Usually around the time they get their first settlement is when I'll get the payout for that. And so then I just call you up and I give you well, I draft a comcheck for you for $500. And, you know, I got a lot of guys that have done that, and it's worked out great for both of us. You know, we both get a little extra money, and, you know, it's one of the reasons why I do these videos is for the extra cash. But honestly, I started doing these videos without knowing that there was the bonus, and I enjoy doing those videos anyway. I have another channel, like I said, Living Off Grid, and I'm starting a video podcast here pretty soon called Shoot the Deuce with Stone Anderson, and that'll be fun too. So I really enjoy doing this, and I talk to guys all day long about driving truck, and even guys that aren't coming to Hirschbach or you know, guys that don't want to come to Hirschbach, or guys that are mad at Hirschbach. You know, I talk to guys about trucking all day, every day. Even when I'm at home, sometimes I turn my phone off when I'm at home just because I got to have a little, you know, quiet time with the family. But for the most part, you know, I'm willing to help. It's a hard life out here. And, you know, we kind of got to stick together, guys and girls. So that's and that's really all I can think of right now. If you guys have any questions about Hirschbach, or driving, or if you just want to shoot the deuce with Stone Anderson, feel free to give me a call. I'll put all my information down in the description below, and you know, you email me with your questions. And hey, if you do want to use me as a referral, I got a girl, Kia Gardner. She's the lady that recruited me. She's awesome. She's actually one of the recruiters for Hirschbach, and she'll take care of you. But give me a call first. That's kind of how it works. You can't call me after the fact and say, hey, I put your name down, and because sometimes there's been guys that have called me and told me that, and I never got anything for them, and then they expected me to give them $500, and I just can't do that, you know. So you got to do it the right way. You got to either call me first, or text me, email me something, and I'll get you going. I'll get you a hold of Kia. I'll get her to call you and get your information and get you going that way. That way I have your name written down, and I know what's going on. I mean, I think I had a guy that was saying that me and some other guys that are doing these videos saying that we were scammers, and you know, that's just not who I am. I had a gal last year. Her husband actually ended up calling me and kind of chewing me up one side and down the other. And I said, hold on, who is this? I didn't even know who it was. I mean, he just called me and out of the blue and just started yelling at me. And he said, you know, you promised my wife this money and da. And actually, it got kind of slipped through the cracks, and I didn't know who she was. But I did look back through my settlements, and she wasn't on there. But I called Hirschbach and let them know what was going on, and I ended up giving her some money anyway, because, you know, I'm just not the type of guy that does this, you know, does that. So, yeah. So you got to do it the right way. All right. And like I said, if you need anything from me, let me know. If you have any tips that you might of driving videos that you might want to see, put those in the comments, and I'll try and make some videos about what you need. I'm here for you guys, and I hope you all do well. Drive safe out there. Right now it's kind of bad weather. It's storming here in Tennessee. It's raining, but I know there's a lot of you guys up there in the snow. So, you know, I pray for you guys that you're all safe and you're doing okay. So I guess we'll leave it at that, and I'll chat with you later. Peace.